Hello everybody and welcome back to another exciting episode of Let's Play Paper Mario! In the previous episode, we completed the rest of the Chuck Quizmo quiz questions and we've got every single star piece in Paper Mario. Now that in itself is a very, very big accomplishment in this game. But do you know what's even bigger? Doing the rest of the Tayce T recipes? Yeah, I know it's probably not as exciting. And right now I'm going to give you a very brief disclaimer. Now, this is probably going to be the second most skippable episode of the series. Why? Because, well, we're not really doing any story progress like with the other bonus videos, and this one's probably going to affect us the least, story-wise. What am I talking about story-wise? I just said it's not going to be affecting us story-wise at all. What I mean is, we are going to be making all the rest of the Tayce T items. Now, some of these we're going to be bringing into Chapter 8, while others we're going to be selling to get the rest of the badges. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, if you find it relaxing, then you know what, by all means, just sit back, relax, and you know, just make some food with us. It'll be really nice. Also, I have some splaining to do once again. You may have noticed this already, but this is all post-commentary. Yes, I haven't had to done this in a while, but post-commentary. The reason behind this is, the last recording session was the absolute worst recording session I've ever had. I'm not even kidding you. It was like the worst recording session ever, and strangely enough, it was the longest recording session I've ever had for one episode. In fact, it was longer than the Resident Evil 5 freaking finale, and that was like 2 hours long. And you know what, like, this was even longer than that. And originally, if I kept the commentary, this video would probably be about 40 minutes long. So I cut out a lot of parts in between where Tayce T's going around in between the fryer and back, and me futzing around the menu, so don't worry, you don't have to deal with that. And you know what, just sit back, relax, and let's do some cooking. Now, right here is an example of, well, it already passed already because post-commentary is kind of dumb like that. But that is a situation of doing a specific recipe, and then it's spitting out an item that you can just buy, like a dizzy dial. Now, I'm going to say flat out, most of these really aren't worth it in the slightest. In fact, this one, I believe, is also one of those. I'm gonna give Tayce T a dried fruit. A dried fruit is actually a very strange item, but I'll get into that just a bit. Now, I just gave her a dried fruit and something else, and she spat out a fire flower. We can get a fire flower in the Toad Town store for, you know, 10 coins. That dried fruit I gave her, however, the dried fruit is a strange item. You can only get it from Pokies. And you can only get it from Pokies in kind of a rare drop. So they won't always drop it. In fact, they'll most of the time not drop it. And the fact that 3 of the recipes outright require it and it's not even worth it in the slightest? It's just kind of baffling to me. Like, why would they make a dried fruit, which is probably one of the strangest elusive items in the game, like I'm going to be using one right now, and I don't believe this is going to give me something of much— look at that, a Thunder Rage. For a rare drop, and keep in mind, I had to go in dry desert and kill almost every single Pokey in the desert, just to get barely enough dried fruit for this. And I only needed 3. So the fact that the dried fruit, an elusive item, just isn't worth it for the recipes? This is kind of weird to me. And look at me talking about dried fruit, not even commenting on any of the things I'm going over right now in the actual video. We got Electropop! 15 FP, we're probably not going to use that. In fact, I know for a fact we're not going to use that. Now, hold on, is this the— yes, this is the recipe I'm thinking of. Sorry if I'm being a little bit sporadic here, but that kind of happens with post-commentary for a video like this, with a lot of cutting. If you combine a Volt Shroom and a Koopa Leaf, you get a freaking Life Shroom! I am actually kicking myself right now Not literally, of course, but I'm kicking myself right now that I did not exploit this sooner, mostly because I didn't know about it. Yes, if you combine a Voltshroom, which you can get for 10 coins in Toad Town, with a Koopa Leaf, which is free, you get a freaking Life Shroom! So you don't have to spend 50 coins in Igor's shop to get it, you can just spend 10. This is probably the only item combination for an item you can already get normally that I would actually advise you doing because it's so cheap. And I'm probably going to be abusing it in the future for Chapter 8. Hopefully I don't have to abuse it too much, but I may make like 3 or something. Don't tell anybody! So what recipe are we on right now? I've gotten completely sidetracked with all of that. Ooh, the egg and the fire flower. This is a combination that really kind of makes me afraid for Tayce T. You get the egg missile. An egg bomb made by Tayce T, you throw it at one enemy, and I believe it's for 6 damage. Why the hell would Tayce T make you a bomb? In fact, this is made even weirder because if you go back to Mario's house, one of the letters that you can possibly get is from Tayce T, and then she'll give you a recipe, well, one of her recipes that she can make for you. The disturbing thing about this is, the recipe she gives you is for a bomb. The only offensive item she makes. So, just some food for thought. Kinda creepy. Anyway, you must be wondering, Sick, what the hell are you doing back on Jade Island? Well, if you come over to this yellow Yoshi, you can give him a Tayce T item. The Yoshi will say that he's really hungry, but he only accepts Tayce T items. So I brought the Cocoa Pop and the Fire Pop, and if I can just stop futzing around the menus, there we go. Good job, Sick. You're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. It looks good. Oh, yeah. Here's why you don't take this. Why don't you take this as a thank you? It grows in a place that only I know about. Trust me, it's good.
And we got the melon! A succulent, ripe melon. I feel disgusted for saying that right now. But yet, we get a melon, which is a recipe item that we can only get from that Yoshi. So if we take it to Tayce T and have her cook it for us, we get the special shake, which, in all honesty, I really like melon. I don't mean that in a weird sexual way either, no, I mean, I actually like melon. Like, I've actually had some melon soda back in Arizona when I was visiting my brother, and it's really good! Why don't we have that? Oh, sweet success! This dish is one of my specialties! Healthy juice. Ugh. That sounds really disgusting, but it heals 40 FP, so I'm probably gonna use it in the future. Ugh. This is probably one of the more sporadic commentaries I've ever done, but, you know, we got a Yoshi cookie! Which restores 15 HP and 15 FP, a good little reference to Yoshi's Game Boy puzzle game that I've never played, and I don't know anybody who has, so if you played it, you know, good job. Good on you. Okay, all finished. I don't exactly know what it is, but some things experiments are good and all that. Sleepy Sheep. Yeah, you really haven't bought that these recipes for items you can get normally aren't worth it. Just look at that recipe and think to yourself how not worth it that is to you. Now, there's one little thing that I wanted to get into in this video, because... where do I begin? I've already said this was my worst recording session I've ever done. But you honestly have no idea how bad it was. Like, this took more takes than I could count, because I was constantly looking over a list to my right. Well, to my left. I have directional issues, and apparently I suck at commentary when I'm thinking about sucking at commentary. That's kind of how psychology works, honestly. But I constantly had to keep looking to this gigantic list to my left, looking through it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's, and then I would completely mess up on the recipes, and then I have to redo it again because I messed up, and then I messed up the entire sequence. Meaning everything I prepared was for naught and I had to reset the game. So not only did that keep happening, but I completely forgot 2 of the recipes. So after the video was done, I was like, oh man, time to check out my perfect 50 recipes out of 50 recipe status in Mario's house. And no, I had 48 out of 50. What did I miss? Well, right now I'm doing the mushroom cross syrup combos, which means we got a maple shroom. You may have remembered that we got a maple super from the radio show a long time ago. The little trading game, I believe it was called. The trading game, for some reason, I thought that I already made the maple shroom. Meaning, I went through this entire sequence. Right after this, I skip over the maple shroom, go to the soup. What am I even talking about? The maple super, go to the jelly super, and then I spend about a half hour after checking my progress looking around for which recipes I missed. Yeah, it was really embarrassing, and I'm so glad I didn't keep that recording, because I was thinking to myself the entire time, wow, am I really gonna put this up? Thank God I did not, because it was just freaking awful. So what recipe am I on right now? I'm on the Honey Ultra. In a second here, we're going to be getting into the best recovery item in Paper Mario right after this. So we're going to have the Maple Ultra. I don't know why it took so long for me to remember at that time, because hell if I know, I'm not that smart. So I'm going to be taking the jam and jelly back from the treasure chest that Peach gave us. So Peach risking her life and doing all that, then winning a quiz show and getting screamed at by Bowser, we got the Jelly Ultra, 50 HP and 50 FP. That is monstrous. Even if we had maxed out HP and FP, we would be completely topped off. Only problem is, we don't need the extra HP. So I'm going to be selling that for a whopping 200 coins. Now the only problem is, here's another part where I messed up in the video. I wanted to show off how much it was worth, but I actually kept going to the wrong stores during recording. I was like, oh man, this sells for 200 coins everywhere, and it goes for 150. So I thought, oh, if I go to this other store, it'll be worth 200 for sure. Nope, 150. And I kept going to different stores. I don't know why I kept trying to do this. But, like, that was just another, 20 minutes of me going around to different stores trying to find which one gave me 200 coins for that item. It was freaking awful. So, enough about how I suck, let's talk about Tayce T, because she's been working her butt off this entire video and I barely acknowledged her. So, let's mix up the fire flower and the iced potato. If you may remember, we get the iced potato from staying at the inn in Shiver City, which is the only house that doesn't have penguins in it, sadly. Now, I believe this is the only combo that's really worth it for the dried fruit, because you get the yummy meal, 20 HP, 20 FP. Now that I think about it, that really isn't worth it, considering how many other easier options there are. Although if you have the bump attack badge like I do, you can just run around Dry Desert and run into Pokies and they'll just explode, and hopefully they'll give you a dried fruit. Very, very helpful. So right here, I'm going to give her the shroom steak and the potato salad. This is the only time you're going to have to give Tayce T a combination of 2 of her items that she makes. And she gives you the deluxe feast. 40 freaking HP, 40 freaking FP. That is freaking a lot. Probably gonna sell it though. Sorry, Tayce T. I know it's gold and it's horrible and... yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. The recipe didn't work out. Oh well. Teehee. Heart. Here, please. So, if you may have noticed right there, I was kind of being a smartass and I gave Tayce T a pebble to cook. And she cooked the pebble for me, and if you do any combination that isn't already an established recipe, she makes a mistake, which is 1 HP, 1 FP, and it sells for 1 coin. Here's the other recipe that I actually forgot about. Surprisingly, the very last recipe that I forgot about was one of the first ones that we were supposed to have. It was the original cake that we gave Gourmet Guy. For some reason, I thought we already did the recipe, but instead, if you may have remembered, Tayce T gave you the cake as a gift for giving back her frying pan. I took that as doing the recipe, when actually we never did. So I actually did one of the most simplest recipes last. Kinda sucks a lot, but hey, we got Tayce T recipes, 50 out of 50. Thank God. So this was originally supposed to be a very laid-back, very calm video. For me, not so much. For you, I hope so. So next time on Let's Play Paper Mario, we're going to be doing some last things that we haven't shown off in Toad Town, as well as completing and collecting all the rest of the badges that we haven't gotten already. So, with that in mind, my name is Sick, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you all for watching Let's Play Paper Mario, and I really hope the commentary in this episode wasn't too sporadic. Anyway, thank you all very much, and I'll see you guys then.